the most important scaling and operating lessons I ever learned, I learned by asking a really stupid question. So I was invited for the first time to the Microsoft CEO Summit, which was pretty exciting for me. I wasn't actually a CEO, but that was the kind of thing I did, not Mark. You got to go to dinner at Bill Gates' house, and there was like a bus that took you to the dinner from the conference. And I was sitting on the bus, and I was sitting next to the CEO of one of the airlines. And I asked a really stupid question. I said, I've had this question for a really long time. It seems like the airlines are pretty well run, but there's always catering delays and my bags keep getting lost. Why do you make like such small errors? Why can't you kind of get the small stuff right? And he said to me, we run a business where a huge portion of what we do, we have absolutely no margin for error, no maintenance problems, no drunk pilots, no error.
Yeah.
All of our mistakes are going to be catering and baggage.
Yeah.
To which I said, keep losing my bag. You and I are good. Just keep losing my bag. And then what I realized is that I think in a lot of situations, people identify themselves as they're like a tight operating manager and everything runs well. Or they're someone who lets people have a lot of freedom and take risks.
Yeah.
And actually, no one should have that approach all the time. That some stuff is catering and baggage.
Yes.
It doesn't matter that much. You can take risk. It can be a little sloppier and maybe a little messier and maybe more room for risk-taking and creativity. And some stuff is flying the plane.
Yes.
And if you approach scaling an organization or even running an organization that everything is maintenance, you're never going to get a product out the door.
Yeah.
Because you're going to check it 8,000 times and your competitors are going to be long past you. And if you approach everything as if it's baggage and catering, people's bags are going to get lost constantly. And I went back, Facebook at the time, now Meta, and I said, all right, we got to know what's baggage and catering and what's operating. And look, data security.
Yeah.
That's operating the plane. We couldn't have data breaches.
Yes.
Could we launch Reels with an imperfect feature set?
Yes.
Sure. Can you launch Threads before it has everything a competitive product does? Sure. Get the product out the door and then iterate.
Yeah.
There's areas, and actually the most important thing to learning how to scale is, a little company, you can run anything you want.
Yeah.
But as you get bigger, you got to figure out,
Yeah.
what is maintenance and what is baggage.